Hey, good looking. I'm so glad that you came to my kitchen today to sit there and see what we all have cooking. Grab a hold of that vine, swing right on into my kitchen, and let's get cooking. Good looking. Today, I'm going to sit there and show you just how easy it is to make your very own Spam. Now, it's a lean version of Spam, so be sure to grab a hold of that vine, swing right onto my kitchen so we can get cooking. Good looking. Hey there, good looking. I'm so glad that you came to my kitchen today for the great 2020 Coronavirus 19 Quarantine Canning Edition. That's right. I figured during this quarantine time that we're all going through and we're all staying together and we're trying to survive through it, I'd be showing some of you some of the recipes that my family has put up on our canning shelves. And today, I'm going to bring you along and I'm going to sit there and show you how to make your very own homemade lean version of canned Spam. And the last time I showed you it, I showed you how to do it in a food processor. What I have right here is 1 pound of Boston pork butt, or if you don't have the Boston pork butt in your area, it's also known as a pork shoulder roast. So I'm going to sit here, cut this into thirds, and then with each one of them thirds, we're going to sit there and just roughly chop up. So let's cut it into thirds. Here, it's all chopped up into thirds. Now, let's just roughly cut these all up into like little bite-sized chunks. Here, they're all cubed up. Now, I'm going to grab a bowl and I'm going to sit there, and before I run them through my meat grinder here, I kind of like to sit there and get them a little bit pre-frozen. While we're waiting for our pork to semi-freeze up in our freezers, let's talk about the curing mixture. What I have here is a half a cup of ice water. Then you're going to be needing 1 tablespoon of the Tender Quick meat cure. Now make sure you get the meat cure. Here I have 4 tablespoons of the clear gel, and it's the high heat type, not the instant. This is the cook. And here I have 2 tablespoons of sugar. That's all you need is these 4 ingredients plus the 1 pound of pork shoulder roast or your Boston butt roast, and we're gonna grind it all up in the meat grinder. And folks, I got caught bringing this bad boy out. My husband right away sees it, and you know what his first words are? What about beef sticks? So I'm gonna hate to sit there and tell you an upcoming video will be done on most likely some homemade beef sticks. And also, let's talk about the type of canning jars that you're going to need. Now, you can can them in the half pints, but you want to make sure they don't have any indentation, you know, like some of the pint jars. I don't think I have any around right now. I've been using my canning jars up. Well, anyways, you're going to want to make sure they're wide mouth. That way, the spam comes sliding out easier. Now you can put them in decorative jelly glasses or just your plain old half-pint jars. And the largest that I do go is the 1 pint. And again, you want to make sure it's the wide mouth, not the narrow mouth, wide mouth. So while we're waiting for our meat to semi-freeze up so it's easier to sit there and grind up, let's go ahead and make our curing mixture. Now take the 4 tablespoons of your clear gel. Now today I'm going to use Sock Monkey, and guess what? He's not going to be holding the hot chocolate. Oh, no, 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 no. I have a better job for him when it's not holiday time. I like to mix up the small seasoning mixtures when I don't need to pull out a large bowl. Like I said, clear gel. Here is our quick tender. Put that all in. And here is our sugar. Go ahead, put that all in. Now, let's go ahead, grab a spoon, and we're gonna mix that all up that I have inside of Sock Monkey. Now, every time I see Sock Monkey, I cannot help think of my childhood. You do not believe how many Sock Monkeys were given to me as a child. I mix that all well up. Now, next is to pull out the partially frozen pork butt. Okay, now when I start chopping up and mincing all my meat up, I'm going to use this blade first. That's the rough chop. And then here's a big ground disc, and here's a fine ground disc. So I'm just gonna grab my first disc because we're gonna grind up all the meats in each one of their so let's start grinding. I'm going to sit there and grab some of the roughly chopped up pork, and I'm just going to sit there, put it down my chute. So let's just put this disc on. There you go. Ah, good, look at this. Cameraman, handsome cameraman at that coming my way. Ooh, ooh. What's up, babe? Yeah, you're gonna do this, aren't you? It's about time. I thought you were gonna be real silent there so everybody thinks I'm just talking to air. Here it's all mixed up. I added all the cure, and now let's add a half cup ice water, and we're gonna mix that all in. I'm gonna let that sit a little bit, and then we're gonna pack it right into our canning jars. Alright, I just let it sit for a moment or two until it becomes emulsified as it is. Now, I'm just gonna take some of this, and we're just gonna sit there and pack all 3 of them mixtures that we mixed up. Okay, I have my debubbler, Now, I'm just gonna keep running it all throughout this meat mixture to make sure we don't have any air pockets. I have my paper towel that I already put some vinegar on. Now I'm gonna wipe the rims of each one of these jars because you never know how much oil you might have had on the rim of your canning jar there, and you want a proper seal when we are pressure canning these. So I always like to make sure that this has no residue, no oil or anything. The better that you wipe your rim, the better of a seal you may get. Now grab your canning lid, place them on each one of your canning jars, grab your canning rings. Now these off to the refrigerator for 24 hours. These go. Now I brought out the Spam. I allowed these little jars to come up to room temperature. I brought out my pressure canner. Now I already went ahead. I put 3 inches of water in the bottom, and now I'm just gonna sit there and put my rack at the bottom of my canner. We're gonna sit there, put our Spam jars right into our canner. Now next, I'll take some of my oil and I'm just gonna put it around the top here, just so my cover here does not sit there and become very difficult to get off of my canner. So I can't do that while I'm holding onto the camera, so I'm gonna put the oil onto the rim of my canner and put the lid on, and we're going to be over at the stove bringing it to a boil. We're going to vent it for 10 minutes. After we vent it for 10 minutes, that's when we're going to put our weight on and pressure can these babies up for 75 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure. And there you go. That's how we do the Spam the homesteading way. You can't get any leaner of a version of a homemade homestead Spam is what I showed you. Now, if you liked what you saw here today, be sure to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button as well. That way you'll never miss out on another canning video that I'll be sending your way. And until then, here's to happy canning, but better yet, happy eatings. Y'all come back now. You hear?